Welcome back, everyone. We're back to us once again. You want to do this? Clash Royale!
Clash Royale!
Wonderful. That's what the broadcast team from Japan suggested that we do. We did it for you guys.
Yeah, they have to buy us lunch now, right? That's
time,
how it works when we meet them.
The next time we go to Japan, we can ask them for lunch because we did this.
Yeah, they suggested we do it, so we did it. They owe us lunch. That's how it works.
All
right, I am super excited for this next game. I cannot contain it. I just wanted to start right now. We have GameWith versus FAV Gaming. The two winners who have won today played so well in their matches, and this seems like a final already.
They're not only just winners, Simon, they're winners in convincing fashion, in their different ways. You saw 1v1 coming from Shun. You saw this on the very far right, this youngster who has been very dominating with his heavy deck cards, and he pulled it off to perfection. And this team, really all about the 1v1, has been seemingly just going forward here. But another team they're facing today is going to be FAV Gaming, who looked a lot stronger in 2v2 compared to their 1v1 games. Seems like something that we can just keep our eyes on, so we might see a win trading between both of these teams before we do go into the ace match. We might be able to get to see the very first ace match of today's games. Yeah,
but I still think that FAV Gaming's 1v1 in that first match was just still really strong.
Yeah.
So we're not. This isn't going to be a walkover. We have Rad, who played in the. Rad is seemingly their 1v1 specialist. He played 1v1 in the last time, and he won in very convincing fashion.
Really did, and Rad, going up against Ku, it seemed like Ku made mistakes that allowed Rad to win, but you still had to put in the pressure for him to choke. So can he put that pressure against Shun, who looked really strong and really composed in the 1v1 environment? So when we get into these games and look at these two players, if they do send out the same players, obviously it could send out different players, but based on the success that these two players have brought to their respective teams, I see no other reason than to send these players out again.
Yeah, I'm looking at who played in which match in the last time. Amaterasu has gone from 2v2 now into the 1v1, and Shun has gone into the 2v2.
Okay.
And what was his name? Amaterasu has been changed for KK, who's another player on the team, but
sure.
I'm not sure. Like, he didn't show up there, right?
Okay, we're looking at it here. Definitely that's not Shun. I remember Shun's face being that 12-year-old boy. It's actually not 12, by the way. But
no, he's 17.
Yeah, he's quite 17, but very much a youngster face you can recognize from a heartbeat. That is not Shun, and so we're going to see two different players seemingly coming in. Amaterasu going to be the first one being played by GameWith here. But from the side of FAV Gaming, can we look at just trying to mix and match here?
It's Rad.
It is going to be Rad, so Rad is going to be playing again after his success. We saw the very first match, but fans going to be coming through.
Inferno Dragon and Balloon.
Ooh. I know what that means. He's going to play extra heavy, just tanking out the Inferno Dragon. And the Balloon is an interesting ban as well. What do you make of that, Simon?
Well, judging by both their bans, it seems like they expected the other one to play a Lava Hound Balloon.
Okay.
Because you want Inferno Dragon with that deck to make sure that you can take out the big hitters, right? Taking out the Balloon obviously just removes the Balloon out of Lava Hound Balloon.
Sure.
So I guess that's what they were going for, but the Balloon ban, it doesn't ban as much as an Inferno Dragon.
Yeah.
does. Because the Inferno Dragon means that you can use a Golem deck and you only have to worry about the P.E.K.K.A. and you know how to deal with it.
Sure. Just a lot under the question marks of what these two players are thinking in their minds. Obviously, with the help of their teammates, they are building this deck in a time span of 3 minutes. You have 2 plus a couple of seconds left remaining for them to finish this off with the help of their allies, just helping them to reconstruct the new deck with the ban cards shown on the top here.
Yeah, I don't think these bans have ruined too many decks, honestly. Especially the Balloon ban. The Balloon is not in a large variety of decks, right? When you want to do a ban, you want to either ban out a very specific deck, like banning out the Balloon here, or you try to ban out multiple decks that you don't like. So you ban out the one card that they have in common. Here is the Inferno Dragon.
Okay, we're looking at this favorite card being the Golem, which is the reason why he banned out the Inferno Dragon. Makes perfect sense here. So Amaterasu is going to be walking with very strong cards here. This is the guy who said Mirror was his favorite card, did not play it in his solos last time around. So whether it's a lie, whether just keeping it for later, it's still under a mystery.
Yeah, I could. Would you have banned P.E.K.K.A instead of Inferno Dragon though? Like I've seen today, I think P.E.K.K.A deals with Golem a lot better than Inferno Dragon.
But at the same time, I feel like if you have a solid strategy to go up against the P.E.K.K.A, whereas the Inferno Dragon is always just there for a much cheaper elixir count, so it's always available for this team to use when you know that you have a Golem count coming in.
But if you know that the other person's going to use an Inferno Dragon, you'll always bring an Electro Wizard, because that is a hard counter to the Inferno Dragon.
You know, there a lot of things are on the minds here, but I feel like in a Golem deck, Inferno Dragon cannot be just avoided as calling a very much a direct counter, in addition to the P.E.K.K.A that you've been mentioning, but just one of the two. You obviously can't have two bans, so with the singular ban that you have out, maybe he feels a little more confident in knocking out the P.E.K.K.A than he can do Inferno Dragon, but we have to see. A lot of things are under speculation until we actually get into the game. Gonna get 20 seconds till we decide what the cards have been decided for both these teams here. Gotta notice the reminder that both these teams came as winners, so it's essentially the winner's match. Something that we haven't promised from the beginning of the day here.
Yeah, I am. After match number 2, I keep saying game number 2, but after match number 2, this is going to be the highlight of this weekend, I feel.
I believe so, yeah.
Like, we had SEA, we had Korea, but this game, both teams have shown such strength in their games. They just dominated their opponents in the last games. So this should be an exciting game.
I mean, if there's a thing called Japan Finals, I think this might be it. We have 4 of the best right now, just overall, just trying to see the 4 best Japanese teams finding out. We see the clear 2 best out of the 4. Now we're going to see them duking it out here. We're going to get to the game very, very shortly here. You see the game start, music getting underway. We're going to get onto game 1 very soon here.
Yeah, so we have GameWith once again in the blue with Amaterasu and FAV Gaming in the red.
Yeah, Amaterasu shows his first card being the Ice Spirit.
Ice Spirit, Ice Golem. These usual staple cards in some of the more heavy, chippy kind of decks. Dropping the miner there, that's a bit weird, I guess.
It does push the Golem a little bit faster, but other than that, okay, it does counter out the Golem that's coming out the other end. So, miner win there, but definitely the main purpose of the miner being ignored on that occasion.
But it still gets there, and oh my god. That tornado should have grabbed that miner into the King's Tower, just didn't. That would have put Rad at such an advantage. Having that 3rd tower activated this early in the game, it's so strong.
But we see the 3 Musketeers just being rivaled out by multiple situations here. Executioner.
Such a big push there. We have 1 Musketeer and a mini P.E.K.K.A. Mini P.E.K.K.A is going to make it.
1 hit, 2nd hit, and that's going to get to the 1st tower out with the Musketeer ready to destroy that down in an instant. And what a play. Obviously, the wave coming in from the 2 Musketeers on the left have been solved out, but the 3rd one, with the surprising mini P.E.K.K.A that we have not seen for a very long time, comes as a hero here.
Yeah, it was such an understated move. Like, you put so much pressure on the left lane, little bit of pressure on the right lane with that 1 Musketeer, and then suddenly you try to defend the 2 Musketeers. There's a mini P.E.K.K.A there. Takes out the tower almost instantly. No chip damage needed this time.
I can guarantee you, Rat did not expect a mini P.E.K.K.A summon on that occasion. Moves so quickly, and just once it gets reached to the tower, then bam, that 1 hit does so much damage to the tower, and Musketeer is no joke as well.
Yeah, Amaterasu seems to really like using the miners as a defensive tool. He's put it at the back a few times. That time he put it behind the Executioner. There comes a Graveyard for Rad. Will it deal much damage? Pulling all 3 Musketeers onto the other lane, but this Graveyard is pulling them back over. Will they split? They do.
Okay, so initial split. The 3 Musketeers very, very obedient to the Master's commands there. Still opting for the 2-to-1 split. Mini P.E.K.K.A returns again. Can he get more out of this? The Tombstone.
Tombstone.
Is going to be the one to defend out this one.
3 Musketeers again, and another Graveyard here. This time the Musketeers are not turning around. And there is the tornado. But that 1 is so dedicated to the cause. She is defending like her life depends on it. She just walks from the opposite side of the map.
Look at the Royal Soldiers coming in for the side of Amaterasu. And then very clean victory. That one occasion with that one Musketeer, one of the three sisters joining inside, joining forces with the Mini P.E.K.K.A. And that bam after bam was good enough to get that very clean first win for GameWith.
I might need to re-watch that because that tower dropped so quickly. I might have blinked. I might have missed most of that push.
One blink auto just destroyed that tower with so much power coming from those two units, and you know how that goes. Mini P.E.K.K.A. died, obviously, later, just after that second strike, but Musketeer was right there to finish it off. So, once again, we see that Shun is this kind of strong pick in the 1v1, but they do have another backup plan with Amaterasu just being the very strong backup 1v1 placement here.
Yeah, I gotta ask though, the tornado that pulls the three Musketeers over, each time one of the Musketeers just walks back over to the left-hand side. That was weird. Like, at that kind of strong pull, I was expecting all three to go up the right-hand side.
And I want to be able to explain that, but it seems like the first initial target that the one Musketeer was going, even though it was pulled back, it was still reaching towards that target. Maybe that's the best explanation for it, but we have to kind of experiment ourselves. Because the distance, like you said, it didn't seem pretty far.
Yeah, maybe that graveyard being placed there actually cost him a decent amount. Like, if he'd have pulled the tornado first, put all three Musketeers on that right-hand lane, then dropped the graveyard, maybe the other Musketeer wouldn't have turned around and gone that way. But it seemed a very long pull.
But at the same time, the graveyard could not be avoided because graveyard summoning that was what prompted the three Musketeers summon, just to make sure the graveyard was accounted for. So that, you know, in and out and kind of the cause and effect kind of phase when we're talking about this here was what decided at the end. But amongst all that talks, we're ready to get into game 2 here with Amaterasu showing a very dominant focus on. Obviously, Rad is not going to fall for that Mini P.E.K.K.A. trick once again. He's seen it once.
Hog Rider, though. Give me your best Hog Rider impression.
On live broadcast, Simon.
I'll do it. Hog Rider!
That was actually pretty good. Yeah, I don't know if I can beat that one. I can beat you in many things, Simon, but that's the one thing I cannot beat you on. Hog Rider impression right there. Simon the professional.
We have the Golem coming out for Rad again. Did he play? He played Golem last time, right?
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, it wasn't about the Golems in this last 1v1. It has been about the surprising. Really, the trainers coming through once again for this 1v1.
Yeah, there's the Executioner. And the Tornado Executioner is such a good combination. They deal so much damage so quickly.
So even with the recent nerf to Tornado, they still feel like it's a viable pick. Move forward here. Dark Prince being distracted by the Hog Rider.
Yeah, the Mini P.E.K.K.A. on the defense, but Mega Minion and Dark Prince both reach the tower. That's a Hog Rider.
Dark Prince just going one hit, and another hit to finish it off, and that's going to be the first tower going down. And what a disaster of events. The Hog Rider not even doing his duty, just being pulled away by the Tornado, even waking up the Kingstar. Now it's a huge advantage for Rat to push forward.
Yeah, Rat doesn't even need to push forward at this point. He could sit back and defend. Any kind of minor play is completely countered by that King Tower being activated. Even if he doesn't have it, any push is going to find it twice as hard to take down a tower because that King's Tower can deal so much extra damage.
And you talk about defensor not needing to push forward. You see the last reveal of his card was a rocket to knock down the Executioner from range. The lightning will come through. That just means Hog Rider will get a few more shots as it doesn't eliminate the Baby Dragon right away. Get some of the Golem, so pushing forward is still a strat, and inputting a lot more pressure so that when he even wants to go for attack, he has to think about the defensive strats first.
Yeah, Golem is defending from the front. That's its job. It is now forcing Amaterasu to put things on the left. Perfect bomb, but doesn't deal that much. The tower's going to go down.
The will go down, and that will be the second tower going down in this game. We thought the bomb and the rocket would take care of it with the Tornado pulling everything in.
But really? the rocket never came. Right? No, the rocket did come.
Rocket did come, but it only knocked down the shields. That's the problem because the Hog Rider was still had a few HP left, but the Princess Tower was targeting the rest of the guards there.
Yeah, oh my god. Such a good turn of events from Amaterasu. He looked like he was down and out, but he's kind of turned it around. Red uses that rocket there on the Executioner, but there's still so much here to defend for Amaterasu.
Okay, the mini P.E.K.K.A is gonna go down on his duty, just putting them in.
That tower only has 854
Oh,
left.
stopped right there from the Mega Minion right there. So the Golem is gonna do a little more damage before it goes back home.
Amaterasu, perfect pulling there every
Mega
time,
Minion.
making sure that the Mega Minion never hit the tower. This
Dragon
baby dragon is going to deal
here.
so much. The rocket comes in.
Good game called, as they knew that rocket would be the finishing touch, and we thought Amaterasu had really pulled the impossible and just prepped for a comeback there, but we saw still pulling strong. Rad, you can't just forget that he was a very strong 1v1 performer in the previous series that he just came back from. So even after losing game 1, we couldn't have counted it up quite yet. He comes back with an even line scoreline, 1-1 here.
Yeah, Amaratsu's defense at the very end when those two Mega Minions were attacking, that is textbook example of how to defend properly when you don't have a lot left. He kept pulling those Mega Minions across, pulling them away from the tower, making sure the tower didn't take any more damage. And unfortunately, eventually he ran out of materials to use. But it was so good, it kept that tower alive for an extra 10-15 seconds.
I feel like one cheap trick that came forward for both of these teams here, both of these players even. Mini P.E.K.K.A coming in for Amaterasu in game 1, with Rad coming with his props in game 2 as well. Kind of shows that revealing the biggest secrets under their decks. Now both players know what to expect in game 3 and how they will approach it, how they will counter for a very similar deck, most likely going to be played in this final game here.
Who do you think is going to take game 3?
This is a tough one, because if you asked me that in, after game 1 where Amaterasu had just had such a dominating profile, I would have said Amaterasu in a heartbeat. That was an easy Kenshin, but now we're on to just back to Red. After his previous series where he dominated his opponent, just ultimately, we're going to see them again. I don't know the correct answer to that.
Yeah, I kind of put you in a hard place there, because even I don't have an opinion.
Right.
Both these players have showed so much strength in both offense and defense that it's hard to choose which one's which. Who is going to take this victory? There's a nice Spirit just cycling out the card. It doesn't, well, it does hit. But you're not expecting it to hit at that point, right? You're just looking to get rid of a 1 Elixir card, try and get something else that you do want to have.
Not having an Ice Spirit in the very beginning of the game does not affect you very much, because the heavy cards take a little bit of time, and by then you'll have another rotation of it. So not the biggest of waste there, just like you said, cycling out the rotation just to make sure you get the cards you want in this full Elixir situation.
So both players are not playing cards now. Just in case you don't know, the reason for this is when we get down to 1 minute, there's double Elixir.
Yeah.
When we see this 1 minute of waiting, 2 minutes of waiting, it's usually because they have a crazy push planned out and they just need to go it down all together. So the double Elixir helps them just throw things out, throw things out, throw things out. It's kind of like an all-in play.
Kind of like the Elixir Collector on passive. We can see that on Turbo Boost, but seems like that is a strategy, Simon. 40 seconds left until we get the double Elixir. So everything under the veil, everything under secret until we get to that 1 minute mark where Amaterasu or either Rad, they will pull off something crazy that the other player cannot react to. And before it gets to the timeout situation, before we get to overtime, if one tower is gone just by that one push, that won the game.
Yeah, I'm also going to say usually at this point we see Golem Night Witch or Giant Night Witch or some kind of like push that develops more power as it goes on. Like you want it to just reach that tower and finish it, and you want it to have a lot of power behind it. So Golem, Night Witch, and now we're down to that 1 minute mark. We see the Golem go down. We see a P.E.K.K.A go down.
Versus the P.E.K.K.A. So initially a good counter from Amaterasu. Not really worried there. P.E.K.K.A with 1 Elixir less being used. Feel very good about his situation. Even the Dark Prince is going to push it further. Now the rocket is being summoned to get the Executioner out. That's going to slow down the Golem.
The Electro Wizard though, and oh, now we could have seen where that Executioner would have been so useful.
But look at the P.E.K.K.A getting all the
and there's another
P.E.K.K.A.
Such cycle here from Amaterasu.
This is what double Elixir can do for you guys. Baby Dragon, you have no chance. And the next spell coming in. That is coming out of nowhere.
Yeah,
the Golem will be able to defend it out initially.
Yeah, but the golem going down the other side is taking all the aggro here, and it's the golem is also pulling away that P.E.K.K.A, making sure that it follows the golem, but bringing it back, making sure that P.E.K.K.A can hit it at least 3 or 4 times. But the Expo now targets the tower,
Look at
deals a decent amount of chip damage there.
Okay, the baby dragon tries to do as much damage as it can before it is frozen up. Golem summon at the front line, feels confident enough that the Prince can push it through. Expo now summon for the defensive end of things. P.E.K.K.A coming in here, just trying to do a lot of free damage if it can. The Mega Minion still doing a lot of damage to it.
Yeah, the Expo defensive position there is inch perfect. If it was further back, the golem might have gone for the tower instead. But this position allows the golem to walk out and allow the other Princess Tower to hit.
Okay, look at this on the right side of Baby Dragon. Oh, P.E.K.K.A summoned just in time to answer for the Dark Prince there. Still taking free shots onto this golem here. Executioner being summoned as well. And pull him in with the tornado.
Will we see a rocket? Will we see a rocket from any player now just to take that out? No, no rocket, but the P.E.K.K.A has gone down.
Okay, that is a heavy usage if one was going to be, but golem is going to be aggroed away by the side of the Dark Prince. Now has prompt on the summon of the Electro Wizard. Can he get a little more damage done? Golem is still staying with that explosion coming through. Now P.E.K.K.A and the Electro Wizard is going to be the one to push forward, hopefully get decent damage onto this turret here.
Yeah, Rad is in such a strong position, 901 HP on that tower left. Amaterasu has to use that defensive Expo once again just to make sure that he can hit these ground units, but P.E.K.K.A didn't even look at the tower. P.E.K.K.A continues to destroy the golems.
Oh, look at this. The Mega Minion really just allowing free damage while the execution is so busy targeting the golems there.
Good Ice Spirit there to make sure the Mega Minion targeted onto that Expo, giving the Princess Tower a little bit more time to hit it.
Okay, a far summon from both the P.E.K.K.A and the golem.
Aggressive Expo.
Okay, Expo's gonna be summoned with the rocket, destroying it right away, but does not hit the P.E.K.K.A.
Yeah, that was unlucky for Rad there. That should have hit the P.E.K.K.A. It was so close.
Oh, and the executioner is now there to do all the free damage. He's not gonna be knocked away. Dark Prince just trying to do all it can, but it will be knocked away very soon. The Ice Spirit just slowing it down, but the P.E.K.K.A is slowly walking himself out. The guard is there to slow it down and does get free damage. That will get him away. P.E.K.K.A summoned on the other end as well, so trying to use their defensive strats here.
Yeah, Amaratsu's win condition here is to try and get that P.E.K.K.A to hit the tower with an Expo behind it.
Oh, look at
that's perfect positioning. Unfortunately, though, the golem positioning does drag the P.E.K.K.A.
But the tornado is going to aggro it away, and that's going to be him using the rocket just to get the Expo away. So 6 elixirs used.
And there's another P.E.K.K.A.
2 P.E.K.K.As. Can he defend against this one? The rocket already having used. He's not going to have much AoE damage. Just slow it down.
The guards are going to pull it away, but is it going to be enough? There is the log. Unfortunately, those are elite guards, so they do have a shield. Tornado seems a little bit late. This is going to finish in a draw.
Okay, it is going to be a draw. Wonder what we'll get to in this next set here. Very close, both ways action. We saw these two players waiting out till the double elixir time to pull their trigger. And what a trigger it was for both teams.
Yeah, they just threw everything in the kitchen sink once that double elixir hit. And unfortunately, there just wasn't enough time, which does mean this is a draw.
Yeah. So, the scenario here, we're going to get a confirmation once we do get that. Now, what happens when we do get a draw here? Very awkward situation.
Yeah, you're putting me under pressure. I can't remember. I'm sitting here trying to think what happens in a draw situation.
The producers told me this wasn't going to happen.
I told you it wasn't going to happen. Okay, in the last set of matches that we did, the Clash Royale Crown Championship Global Series Korea, I need to find a better word for that. We had exactly 1 draw in about 5-6 weeks. We got a draw here.
First week.
First week, first day of Japan.
Wow.
So, I'm not sure. I think it just finishes as a tie, right?
Okay, we're going to ask some confirmation. We'll get information once we get there, but... Wow, I didn't think this would come to it.
Set here? Like, I think it does just end in a tie, and that means we're definitely going to go down to an ace match. But
why would we go to ace match? Because the 1v1 already.
Oh, they're going to play again.
Okay.
All right.
So, if it's a tie, then we just play another one. That makes sense.
And then we keep going until like both of us grow old. We're going to be here, 60-year-old men, the longest YouTube live stream, the longest Twitch live stream in history.
We'll make history. We'll make history, Simon. We're in it together. Of course, you'll get older faster than I am because you're just older than I am, but We're in it together, Simon. We're all in this together. We're holding hands. We're walking together as family. We're going to be here to watch as many draws that will be given to us. Because, to be fair, Amaterasu and Rad, two very popular teams, two very strong players that are looking to be really equally matched. There's not really much separating these sides here.
No, what would you do at this point? You have to change deck, right? You can't do that again. That's usually a surprise strat.
Yeah, and double elixir, it seems like both players were ready for that, and really no clear winner coming out of that occasion. I don't think a double elixir wait and a hold will not come again. I think players will start to kind of experiment with things, play a little bit differently with their decks to make sure what they're going to press forward in this final, what eventually could be a final game. That will come through from the very beginning, trying to make statements after statements here.
Yeah, I'm surprised no one's taken a timeout after that.
You're right.
Like, that would be the perfect time for a timeout, just to calm down your player, but here we go.
Gotta realize we still have a lot of Clash Royale action going on. Okay, we're gonna go into the games here. Amaterasu and Rad holding on very nicely to their positions. Done very well.
There's a Dark Prince.
Gonna pull it back.
A Dark Goblin this time. We saw Dark Goblin earlier on, but he never really was super effective.
Mostly about staying behind, wiping out the minions one by one. Goblin Gang just gonna ignore.
Unlock Night Witch. Night Witch is not a good counter to the Goblin Gang. It's gonna drop before the bats reach it, maybe? That is so low. But Lumberjack in the front. Once that rage goes down, they're going to deal so much damage. Bats come out. No, not as effective, as fortunately. But perfectly placed poison, making sure nothing is getting out of that Goblin Hut.
Okay, saw the Dark Goblin there as well, putting out damage. It was a good position to put it in, but the poison kill it after it has done its job.
Yeah, unfortunately, that poison was kind of like kidnapping people outside of karaoke.
Look at this Elixir Collector. Now it's going to be prompting Rad to just go super heavy.
But that balloon is going to connect, and that will drop a whole bunch of skeletons. But
nice tornado.
Perfect tornado, making sure the Dark Prince does connect with them. Don't forget, he does have an area of effect attack. And the charge damage onto that tower for Amaterasu. Wow, good position here for Amaterasu to take this game.
And rather slow reaction coming from Rad, because we saw him have 7 elixirs available. He could have countered that with any card, just putting it in front of it. That would have avoided the crash damage, but does take a lot of damage in return. Now he's going to summon a P.E.K.K.A. Hoping that this works out after he does see the Golem.
Yeah, Amaterasu playing the Golem Night Witch. This is actually a pretty good counter to the P.E.K.K.A. if you can get up enough bats. But poison goes down, making sure those bats are non-existent. But for Amaterasu, that poison is on the tower. Don't forget, the whole time that poison was down, damage was being dealt.
Okay, look at the utility being done there by the P.E.K.K.A. Saves Rad a lot of elixirs. He press forward with this. Dark Prince going to come out just to wipe out all the skeletons as soon as he summoned. There you go. Very nice
No
play
damage
there.
at all, but there is a Golem being summoned. Hoping this Dark Prince, I don't know what he was planning to go down that side, but the Night Witch again here has to play the defensive poison, and we're going to see Amaterasu here play a defensive poison, I guess, in the front, but the rage goes down. That means the Golem suddenly deals so much damage.
Okay, they're going to be moving forward. Gets one explosion onto the tower there. Otherwise, nothing coming from it. The skeleton barrel, and they hold on to this. Dark Prince is right behind them, so the tornado, very
tornado,
nice.
But it did pull the P.E.K.K.A. closer to the tower, unfortunately.
Oh, but the Lumberjack pulling the trigger and doing enough damage to wipe it out, so.
Lucky for Amaterasu there, because without that Lumberjack, 3 Elixir Collectors down right now. I forgot, we're in overtime already.
We are, and 1 tower gone. Will be the end of the game here, and have 2 Elixir Collectors now, just to help and support.
This will put him so far ahead. Those Elixir Collectors do give so much extra Elixir when they're allowed to live. Poison being not on the tower where you would have expected it, but that P.E.K.K.A. goes down without a fight. Rage potion.
Rage is going to go down through the death of the Lumberjack. It does provide enough distraction. No tower damage is taken. Really equal on both sides right now in terms of tower damage that has been taken on the left side of the map here.
Yeah, but I do think Amaterasu does have a slight deck advantage here. I think his deck is a little bit better at this point. But if this ends in another draw, do we go to another match?
I would assume so. We just never had a case like that, but it's going to be about trial and error to see.
There's an offensive poison there for Amaterasu. That is where he wants his poison to be. He wants to make sure that these poisons are doing chip damage onto that tower, because it will give him the game if it keeps happening.
Look at this here. Nightwish just trying to fight against this P.E.K.K.A here.
Easy. Bats and the Mega Minion will take out that P.E.K.K.A because he was low health. But this P.E.K.K.A, the new P.E.K.K.A, is going to have a bit more of a difficult time. The Lumberjack in position. Good tornado. Oh, that's opened up a nice hole there for Amaterasu.
And Amaterasu just can push in here but does not reach the tower in time. Poison just chipping away little bit by bit. 635 is going to final standing for the left tower of Rat. So Amaterasu is in ahead in terms of damage. Oh, they're getting an offensive P.E.K.K.A and a skeleton barrel.
It is go time now. This is the trigger being pulled. Neither of these players apparently want to play another game after this. But who's all in is going to be stronger. That P.E.K.K.A connects.
P.E.K.K.A just one strike. Just
2 strikes, 3
one,
strikes. That is so low.
But
Amaterasu
coming in. That was so close.
Whoa. That was both players just deciding to go all in. And luckily for Amaterasu, his push was just that little bit quicker. Oh my.
I love the fact that P.E.K.K.A summon on the opposite side with the skeleton. 10 elixirs used. You just literally saying, we're going to end this game one way or the other. We're not playing another game. No more draws. If I lose, I lose. But if I win, I can get the biggest win ever.
Yeah, it was all or nothing at that point. They're throwing everything and the kitchen sink, plus all the elixir they possibly can into that push. They didn't need to defend. They tried to pull away a little bit just to buy more time. But unfortunately, Rad didn't buy enough time for himself. Amaterasu did.
So right now, Amaterasu winning out against Rad here. So he's not the only popular, really good 1v1 player we saw earlier from Shun. We almost forget him because how long this series was with this set in 1v1. But it shows that Amaterasu, in addition to Shun, can become very strong utility players in the 1v1. But we're going to see Shun return for the 2v2, how he contributes to this team game here.
Yeah, I think Shun is going to be really good in 2v2. His style was very explosive.
Sure.
I can see it definitely being good in this, in 2v2. I don't know who's out for FAV Gaming. I actually wrote down the wrong players.
We're going to see it here, though, soon enough.
That's Shun. And I can't make out who those guys are for FAV Gaming. It's too far away.
We will get the results soon enough, Simon.
Yeah, the names will be up on the screen in a minute.
I'm
searching through paperwork here, but
we got billion papers on our desk here. Let the work do itself out, and they will show us who the players will be. Shun, still a player that we remember quite well for his dominating performance with such heavy deck, and that fits just accordingly to a 2v2 environment where heavy deck experts are going to be such a good fit here.
Yeah, 2v2 is very much so now about building up a huge death push. We saw a chip game earlier, I think, a little bit, but pushes, big death pushes are the name of 2v2. That is what you do. And
I feel like the chip damage, the meta came through after game 1 didn't go towards that team's way because they tried the all-in attack and it didn't work out, so they felt like the response to that was doing the chip damage, and they did get the game of inches to win out that one. But normally, I should do say, Simon, it's going to be about the heavy cards. Everything in one side, ram it home, and that's going to be what we're seeing probably in this first game here.
Yeah, what do you think you would ban at 2v2 at this point?
I mean,
Tornado.
Tornado is obviously sure, but if you want to be creative, I might even ban at the Golem. If you want to just give up the all-in push altogether, it's never really been about Lava Hounds in 2v2. More so, it has been mostly about the Golem push. How successfully can you make the Golem push after push, and eventually you get the damage trade-out that gets your team to win.
Here's the ban cards, Tornado and a Lava Hound.
So, Tornado was expected. Obviously, if you want to play a heavy deck, It really becomes against you. But on the side, oh really?
Yeah, Lava Hound being banned.
FAV Gaming, they just gonna go with the Lava Hound, which means they might just play Golem and kind of expect it once again.
Yeah, I mean, banning out Lava Hound. I mean, Golem is a favorable matchup.
Sure.
I mean, sorry, if you play Lava Hound and you play Golem, Golem is the favorable matchup there. I don't know why you would ban Lava Hound though.
I mean, the only reason why I would see anyone banning a Lava Hound because you don't want your opponents to play Lava Hound, so you don't have to worry about the possibility of
Lava
countering.
Hound Balloon?
Yeah, Lava Hound Balloon, or anything that you find a little more difficult to counter. But if you just ban a Lava Hound and you send a Golem of your own, even if the opponent decides to go with a Golem Rush, maybe they feel confident enough they can counter against a Golem Push no matter how strong it may be. But Lava Hound, some people find it a little bit difficult just because of the flying mechanism that it can mix and mingle along with so many different cards available.
Yeah, maybe both teams, maybe they're looking to play P.E.K.K.A. in defense.
Okay.
And that is why you would ban the Lava Hound, just in case they do have Lava Hound instead of Golem. But here we see KK, favorite card, Princess. KK19212, full name, according to the top of the screen here.
It's quite easy to just call him KK.
KK, yeah. KK. And here we see Shun. Impressed us so much in the first game last time. I'm super excited to see him play 2v2.
Okay. His favorite card is Lava Hound. Shows over there. But we saw him make very good utility of the Golem than he used last time around. And even the 3 Musketeers, my god, a masterful use of that as well. So, Shun, a lot of promise for this young fellow who we've seen a lot of promise coming from what he is able to do once given the right opportunity. But in this 2v2, we might get a new sighting of the talented player. Yeah,
here we have KENTSUMESHI. Favorite card, the Golem. We didn't see him earlier, right? This is his first time out.
I think this might be the first time we see KENTSUMESHI here. We've seen the other players more often than not. He was that 4th player that wasn't played the very first series.
Oh no, it's the same 2v2 this time.
It is, okay.
Okay. Exactly the same order then, I guess. Wow. So they're not changing their guns at all, FAV Gaming here. They're playing exactly the same players in exactly the same situations.
Okay. But last time around, I remember that FAV Gaming played with mostly the Golem. Just get the Golem push better than your opponents did. And that what led to them in a 2-0 victory.
Some good rocket play as well.
Sure.
But it has to be said, FAV Gaming need to win this 2v2 to stay in this match. If they lose this, GameWith takes the victory. This is why we're saying at this point in the tournament, 2v2 is the most important. It will save you the match. It will win you the match.
And eventually we'll get to this best-of-5 situation where there's only 1 out of 5 2v2 matches. So less of a priority when it comes to just 20% contribution compared to 33% contribution. It's a lot different in terms of mechanism. Yeah, just losing 1 game could cost you the series. We're looking at this best-of-3 here, and 2v2 becomes a vital option that you have to kind of importantize just as you move forward here.
Yeah, it's good to have specialist 2v2 players for this round, for the first few weeks especially, because it does keep you in the game. It does win you the game. But after that, it becomes 1 of 5, and it actually is, because it comes second, it doesn't matter. You can lose that and then win every other 1v1. So when you're building your team, do you look at 2v2 specialists now to take you to the end of the tournament? Or do you look at 1v1 players and hope they can survive 2v2, or they win the first game and then win the ace match?
I mean, and it also contributes to a lot of momentum. Even if you do say the best of 5, only 1 out of the 5 will be 2v2. It's the second match of the series.
Yeah.
So once you do win your 1v1, for example, and you start to win a 2v2 because you're a talented 2v2 team, that just carries you forward to win the rest of the series. But back to here, best of 3. Gonna see this match between 2v2, between the 2 very talented teams we've seen today, coming from GameWith and FAV Gaming.
GameWith in the blue on the bottom, FAV Gaming in red on the top. Already we see quite, well, there's a fireball. What is it with flying machines and fireballs?
Hate it.
Yeah. Every time there's a flying machine, there's just a fireball right in its face.
Almost macro to see.
Both players are playing with their macros still turned on. As soon as flying machine,
macros
throw out
Clash
fireball.
Royale. Let's do it.
There's a knight.
That's very nice play there to compensate for the guard, but it has been zapped away. So take care of the Prince.
Is Dark Prince going to pick up a charge?
One
It does.
Oh, almost gets a second hit on it as well. It's two Mega Minions being summoned now.
Yeah, but the charge is so much extra damage. You don't want one hit, you want the charge hit.
Right.
And it was just in range of getting its charge. It literally charged a pixel before the tower. There's another flying machine and another fly.
You don't have a direct counter other than a fireball. It seems like a flying machine can be quite dangerous of a tool. Yeah,
there's the Golem. Royal Giant summoned down on the bottom, but the Dark Prince will be able to take at least most of the damage from that, if not kill it with Princess Tower's help. And the Golem slowly crawling itself forward. And there's a balloon.
Balloon will appear for the very first time with the Golem, not the Lava Hound bullet.
Oh, but the balloon doesn't care about that Tesla Tower. He's going straight for the tower.
Rager, one
hit, and the bomb.
That's huge enough already. The fact that it ignored
the Golem's still there as well. The Golem is going to get a little bit of extra death damage, and if it wasn't for that Prince there, the Inferno Dragon, but it does connect.
Inferno is going to connect. It can't be stopped. And already a dominating performance that cannot be stopped.
Yeah, you can see Shun there wiping his hands. He's like, I know I've got this. I know I've got this.
Just so close to getting this one. Flying Mission once again knocked away by the fireball. None of that having here. Prince going to be someone on the left side, interestingly, I'm here.
Yeah, at this point, for me, I would start pushing down on the right side, forcing your opponent to either defend or go all in. If they go all in, do you have the defense? And I think they do.
Maybe prompting an attack on the left side that they can defend. Poison coming in. Oh, it's going to be pushing it back, actually.
So it looks like FAV Gaming went for a chip deck again, but it didn't work this time. There's the balloon and a rage potion, but the bats come out.
Okay, that's going to be good, but no drop happening.
But still, the death bomb does so much damage.
You gotta
and there's a rocket.
lot. Match over. Really clean, really dominant. Kind of remembers back to what Shun has shown in 1v1. His two games and his two victories that he got over his opponent was almost class of a difference compared to his opponent. It just seemed like Shun had his match made in heaven, just talking about he knew exactly what to do, and his win seemed a little bit more obvious than what is supposed to be in this competitive range. But 2v2, just another deja vu of that.
Yeah, and Oz and KENTSUMESHI won so easily in their last game. Does that put them at a huge disadvantage right now?
Important to see how that works here, but this Shun guy has been grabbing our attention from the very first moment of the game, where he played the very first premier opening of the game here of this series with Japan, but getting a timeout from FAV Gaming here.
Yeah, I think they need it at this point. They need to settle down. Oz and KENTSUMESHI won so easily in that first game, and now they just got manhandled.
They got quite bruised, if I can say. That bruise that they got in that game one is still there, and it will be there once they begin game two. And they're in this situation now. Shun and KK looks heaps ahead in quality, looks heaps ahead in terms of competition. It just seems like Oz and KENTSUMESHI, they're in this mental breakdown. Can they recover from this and pull off at least a fight back against what they have been just wiped away by the two sides coming from GameWith?
Yeah, they both look incredibly nervous right now. Like, they're sitting there like, what happened? How did that happen to us? And these two guys for GameWith, Shun and KK, they're just like, yeah, all right, let's just take a quick look at our decks.
As if that was normal. Shun just feels like his facial expression shows me that was supposed to happen, which is beyond me, Simon.
Yeah, especially what we saw last time with FAV Gaming, where they were the ones dominating, and now Shun is just like, yeah, we can take these guys, no problem. Like, don't worry about it. We got these decks, we got these strategies, we're gonna win.
It's the same level cards, it's the same amount of HPs for your towers. That is a huge difference when we just saw in game one, GameWith absolutely dominating. Do we have a new star in making in the Clash Royale world? Maybe you guys need to start paying attention to this guy. Shun from GameWith has been making remarks after remarks of what this player might potentially be.
Yeah, his game style as well is super exciting to see. He is playing without fear, without hesitation, and he's just going for it, and there's the good lucks come out. Will FAV Gaming reply? It doesn't look like they do. Oh no.
And look at Shun's expression there. He just smiling even a little.
Yeah, the first metagame has already been won here by GameWith because FAV Gaming did not return the good games.
Wow. Here we are. We get to see what there's a lot of summons coming both ways. There's split summon of the bats, and now the guard. Gonna prompt the minion summon on both ends here.
There's a fireball again, taking out that flying machine. What is it about that guy? It's a fireball magnet.
As long as the flying machine is taken care of, they feel like they have what it takes to counter every other card available in existence.
Yeah, it is interesting using the fireball against it because I don't think it's necessary, but these guys are feeling that it is, so I'm going to have to start doing that myself.
There we go. You know, whenever we see the flying machine, a fireball will be ready. Well done, Simon.
Well, this the Inferno Tower. The Inferno Dragon does attack that Mega Minion, and now there's one full health Inferno Dragon coming from FAV Gaming.
Okay, minion, maybe support that as
and
well.
a miner. That's a big push, but the Dark Prince there at the back.
Oh.
The elite guards there just dragging everything across the towers. Look at the princesses just clean everything up. Right. Dark Prince is charging towards the tower. Is it going to hit? Is there enough bats?
Oh, one charge coming through from Dark Prince, and that's important. But left side, we can keep our eyes on that because that has taken a lot of chip damage already.
Yeah, I don't even know where that damage has come from. It just seemed to randomly appear.
Yeah, we talked about Shun being that player that something just happened, and we had to rely on the replays to see exactly what happened. Here it is happening again in 2v2. Where did that damage come from on the left side?
I remember seeing an Electro Wizard there, but an Electro Wizard doesn't do that much damage.
This is absolutely crazy.
There's the Inferno Dragon, but there is nothing there. The Inferno Dragon, and a freeze potion slightly too late. If that had been half a second earlier, that tower would have been down for GameWith.
Oh my goodness.
Slightly mistimed. You can see on both their faces that they were like, 1 second earlier, that would have been okay.
Okay, now rushing in here with the Dark Prince. Gonna be countered by the Prince as well. Quite easy on that one, but more importantly, can that left tower survive on this next rotation? Mega Minion just gonna allow him to charge here. Just one charge with no additional damage.
So much damage has been done to FAV's towers that they can probably allow that at this point.
Lumberjack on the left. He's just gonna push in with no distraction. He's gonna go for the miner.
Yeah, but there's nothing behind it to make use of that rage that's on his back. But here's the Inferno Dragon and Electro Wizard taking out the Golem, but a perfect rocket defending that. But then the P.E.K.K.A. comes out.
Okay, there's no defense for the P.E.K.K.A. available. The Lumberjack is there trying to do damage on the P.E.K.K.A., but it's really impossible to do that. The P.E.K.K.A. is so tanky to go through. The Rage is coming through, but really not going to make much use of it. Very nice rocket. You got to be waiting for the rotation now. Anything here, any spell will do.
Where's the fireball? There it is! There we go!
GameWith! Another convincing victory by these guys are the stars of Japan. Pay attention to these guys, especially that guy on the right. Shun is going to be the new star in the making.
That was intense! I cannot believe that GameWith just handled FAV like that.
Manhandled.
What is going on? Match 2, FAV looks super strong. They look stronger than GameWith. And then when GameWith play FAV Gaming, GameWith just destroy everything.
And Shun didn't even have to come out in the 1v1 to get another 2-0 victory for this team.
He didn't even break a sweat. The guy's just like chilling out.
He was smiling. Yeah. He was smiling as he was playing.
I know. I'll throw out this Inferno Dragon this side. I'll throw out a Golem over there. He's just like so bad. Just throwing things out like you can go that side. You can go that side. Oh man.
Simon, this might be the first time me watching Clash Royale, I have been kind of energized to the next level here.
Yeah, I mean, that was insane. Like, sometimes I lose my voice, usually in finals and things like that, but my voice is going right now. That game was so intense.
You said, coming to this game, GameWith versus FAV, it seemed like this would be a representation of the Japanese Clash Royale final.
Yeah.
We thought so. We thought so.
And it definitely was, but GameWith made it look too easy.
Then it doesn't look like a finals anymore because it just looks heaps better than the other team.
Yeah, but when we hype up a final, it always ends 2-0, 3-0, right? That's what finals do. But GameWith made FAV Gaming there look like a 3,000 trophy.
Oh, look at that.
perfect timing. And then you can see the moment. I've got Fireball. I've got the Elixir. Look, the fly machine's out. I obviously have it.
Look at the HP. Look at the HP on the bottom there. 1,600, 1,500. They were not even close.
Defending was so good. And, like, we don't even know where half the damage came from on the left.
We're still going to look at the replay. I'm going to go home and watch the replay.
That was the replay. We weren't
and
looking
I'm missing again. No! We were so busy talking about Shun and GameWith that we were just so focused on that we lost track of the replay that we're supposed to see.
I think they only showed the end, so we do have to go back and watch this. I don't think they showed where that first chunk of damage came from.
First thing I'm going to do when I go home today is going to watch the GameWith replay. This team, I'm going to keep my eyes on these. And don't be surprised if GameWith and Shun, if they beat out every single team that we've seen so far. I'm making a call right now. Early in this tournament, third day in, I'm going to make this call now. Shun and his boys are going to ruin the kingdom.
You see, I'm going to say that Expo Master and Kingzone Dragon X, man, Expo Master is my favorite player. We saw him last time in the Clash Royale Crown Championship Global Series Korea. He dominated everything, and he is my boy.
We're going to look at the results. I think we're, we had enough energy drained out of us. Now it is time to make the close because all of a sudden the day's over.
Yeah, red team never wins. It's always the blue team.
I guarantee you, but if GameWith was on the red team, they would have been in every game. I don't care about that. I'm a fanboy now. You can't stop me from doing this now. This is happening.
All right.
What a team.
Let's go through the results. GameWith beating Ponos Sports, FAV Gaming beating Detonation Gaming, and then GameWith beating FAV Gaming. What is going on? Like, GameWith just looked so good in these games.
They were on another level. They were on
a
different level.
No, FAV Gaming were on another level. GameWith were in the solar system. They were so high up. They're in the stratosphere, man.
You can't be seen, but they can see you. My goodness. Next matchup, we're going to be very excited. We're going back to Southeast Asia for next Friday to come, May 4th. We're starting at 7 p.m. Korean Standard Time, the local time for us. Going to start off with Chaos Theory versus HQ Esports Club. Obviously, these teams that we're still looking out for, kind of getting an understanding of what the skill level might be. It's really hard to compare between different regions until we get the top teams for the respective regions to clash with each other. But we kind of have a solid idea of some of the Japanese teams, especially the one team that I've been talking about the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the SEA. I was casting Korea. I casted Japan. The Japanese games, honestly, GameWith and FAV Gaming, both teams look head and shoulders above most of the other teams I've seen.
I wouldn't disagree with you. I'm a Korean commentator speaking out for the Koreans, but there's no favoritism when you know the Japanese team has been doing the work. But we're going to see more works later next week. We're going to get back to Southeast Asia next Friday. So you will join us once again as we bring back the Clash Royale Asia action. We'll be right back after that week. So see you then.